Welcome to the special episode. Breaking news: NFL top 10 list, top 100 list just dropped, and it's pretty dog shit. Don't know what they're thinking. I think they're just trying to get interactive views and shit, but we have the proper list. We put our own top 10s down, and yeah, I think my list actually is the one that should be universally used, but we'll see. First, I want to go over some snubs and some insane places they put these people. Um, First off, obviously, Brock Purdy at number 28. That puts him in the top 5 quarterbacks. Chase, how you feel about that one?
Well, I think Brock Purdy should be, I'll put him maybe in the 70s. Like when you have that stacked of a team around him, I feel like any quarterback can look as good as he did. And he didn't even really look that good. He throws where that team could have carried him to win the Super Bowl, but you put any pressure in his face and he just collapses, overthrows them. He had so much help in that playoff run. He's honestly overrated.
Yeah, and you look at his teammates. I think Ayuk is in the 80s. Uh, what's the kid's name? Uh,
Debo.
yeah, Debo. He's in the 30s, and Kittle is I think 13th. So it just shows you the insane team he has around him. We all know he's a game manager.
Fred
Um,
Warner. Fred Warner's 11.
yeah, exactly. So we're gonna get way into detail with him in our NFC preview coming soon. But yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. We're both not Brock Purdy fans. I mean,
But look at this. Devontae Adams is 40. We all know who Devontae Adams is and how good he is. Puka Nakua is 33. Well, what are we doing here?
that,
Dayron Bland is 31.
yeah,
What are we doing?
yeah, Bland. That was a dumb pick. I mean, I understand the Puka because
He
I
had
think
one
he
good
broke
year.
the rookie receiving record.
Okay, but that doesn't establish him as
Uh,
anything.
yeah, I mean, if you put in the context, if you could say pick Devontae Adams or Puka Nakua, I think 100 out of 100 is picking Devontae Adams.
And
So
then you got Debo above Devontae Adams, which what?
yeah,
No, Devontae is a way better player than
that
Debo
this
is.
this is what this is what I'm gonna get into because they just look at these names. They look at single statistics. They don't look at the team around him. Like Puka's good. You know why? Because beside him is Cooper Cup. Who's beside Devontae Adams, right? You know what I'm trying to say? Like Debo. Like other teams have to focus on Kittle and Ayuk. So it brings more out of Debo, obviously. So that's why they don't look at shit like that on these lists at all. So yeah, just a couple of the snubs. Derrick Henry at 49. That's not a snub. I think his ass is way too high on that list. Uh King Henry, he was I feel like the best running back I've seen with my own eyes. Besides Christian McCaffrey. But yeah, he's too old. 49. His production with the Ravens, he's probably gonna get like 700 yards this year.
I think Henry should have been a little higher, actually.
Oh, that's crazy. He didn't have a great year last year.
1,100 yards.
Yeah, that doesn't put him in the top 50.
That's a pretty good
Or yeah, sure, but running back,
season.
the wheels fall off. We've
Is it
seen it time and time again.
okay? But it hasn't yet. He still broke over 1,000 yards,
It's
and
it's going like
he had
this,
he
and
had
it's about the
1,500 yards in 2022.
I mean, if they're talking about going into next year, like where all these people are set, he's way too high. I can see him in the
It's
90s.
it's just a top 100 list and say top 100 best players next year. This is who's in the league right now, top 100.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
based on what he done in his past, he had a 1,500 yard season, then a 2,000 yard season, and another 1,500 yard season, and 1,100 last season. He should be higher. He should be at
yeah,
least
no,
in
it
the
should be
30s.
higher because what do you just say?
It
It's
should be in
going
the
down.
30s.
It's going down. That's I think there's so
Going
many
down.
statistics that at 1,200 attempts, it just falls off of the wagon for running backs.
No,
That's something that needs to be taken into consideration.
no, terrible take.
Not at all. At 52, Patrick Surtain. That is ridiculous. And this is for every single cornerback on this list. They are what I think the highest rated cornerback is at 30 or something like that.
Aaron
Um,
Bland's above Patrick Surtain. Are we being for
we
real?
we said
Aaron Bland is ranked above Patrick Surtain.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. You look at CD Lamb. Spoiler, he's number 10 on my list. He said the best corner in the league is Patrick Surtain. That's one of the best wide receivers talking about someone who's plays the actual damn game instead of the people who just make lists says that is the best corner in the league. So how is he 52? I think cornerbacks in general get a bad rep. I think that's the hardest position to play. There should be more corners in the 10s and 20s in this list.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
I have DK at 84. And another thing about these lists is they don't take into consideration the quarterback. DK is still top 10 wide receiver in my eyes. Should have been in top 50. I know he doesn't have the stats to prove it just because he's dealing with a shit show, right? But don't take like he is a beast. He runs a 4.4 and he's like 6'5", monster. I would have him like he's if I think of a deep threat in football, I think of DK Metcalf.
He's not really a deep threat. He's just a big body physical receiver.
Yeah, a one-on-one throw the ball up, he's gonna body anybody to get the ball. That's a deep threat.
A deep threat is speed. You're thinking of a jump ball receiver.
Okay, well there you go. I mean, not really. If I when I think of a fast
A deep
receiver, I
threat is
think of a
speed.
slot slant guy.
Doesn't matter what you think. A deep threat is speed
Okay, I guess.
because you're throwing the ball deep.
All right, well, jump ball receiver, sure. Red zone receiver. Um, Laramie Tunsil at 71, I think is way too high. He should be in the 30s. I was actually there for the Texans Browns playoff game. Laramie Tunsil was against Myles Garrett, defensive player of the year. Myles Garrett didn't do a damn thing. He is the second best left tackle in the league, besides obviously Trent Williams. 71 is way too high. Offense line, never get any love. Um, the best safety in the league, Jesse Bates was at 74. Once again, corners and safeties way too high on these lists. They need more defensive love needs to be on these lists, except instead of just offensive players.
All right, they get the point. We don't have to go through the whole list.
Uh, yeah, but my last snub, I got to get this out. Justin Herbert at 75. You're telling me Brock Purdy is 50 spots better than Justin Herbert? Anyways,
You
now
just
here's
love Justin Herbert.
what?
You just love Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I mean they don't take who's he throwing the ball to? Like they don't take these things in consideration. All right, here's our top 10 list. I just have mine. Number 10, CD Lamb. Game changing player, makes Dak look like a god at quarterback at sometimes. Uh there's sometimes they line two people up on him, just like the old Calvin Johnson meme. Yeah, 100% top 5 wide receiver, obviously. And absolute game changer for the Cowboys.
Yeah, he's not in my top 10, top 15, maybe. Yeah, he's not top 10.
But I mean, like that's not crazy me putting him at 10, right?
Um, well, if he's in 10, then someone had to have been left out, right? And whoever you left out is going to get snubbed
Like I said, I
just
think
for
my list is
CD.
perfect. So who you got at 10?
Fred Warner, best linebacker in the league, literal game changer, can run
Yeah.
that whole defense. He's just insane. He 100% is a top 10 player in the league, and any team would sell the house for him.
Yeah, I mean, I could say he was at my 11. I was thinking about Fred Warner or CD Lamb. Um, I mean, honestly, yeah, Fred Warner, absolute game changer. Best linebacker in the league by far. Uh, he does a little bit of everything. It's almost like you watch him and if you don't like know his number, you're like, is that dude a cornerback? The way he's all over the damn field, and that's how you know what a good linebacker is.
He's just generational. He's uh just insane.
Yep. Go ahead with your number nine.
Number nine, I got TJ Watt, obvious
Whoa.
top three defensive end in the league, and just his sack numbers are ridiculous. The impact he has on the ball is just crazy.
Yeah, I know I'm wearing this Browns jersey, but he did get snubbed. He got snubbed for defensive player of the year for sure. Um, if you just look at the numbers, I don't know why he didn't get defensive player of the year last year. Led the league in sacks, tackles for loss. He in led all defensive ends and interceptions. I mean, just like JJ, TJ Watt is doing the same thing JJ Watt did with the Texans. My number nine is it's because it's my favorite position to watch on the field, and it's my highest rated corner, Sauce Gardner.
What?
Lockdown machine. You just look at the numbers. It's
What?
almost statistically exactly the way Darrelle Revis was with the Jets. Um, yeah, nothing really to say except he's the number one lockdown corner in the league.
In the top 10?
Yeah, it's the hardest
No.
position to play. This is top 10 most talented, best players in the NFL.
Yeah, you're ridiculous. That's crazy.
The number one corner isn't in the top 10. Like, what are you talking about?
Patrick Surtain's the number one corner. Patrick Surtain is clears Sauce Gardner. What are we doing here?
Sauce Gardner is I wouldn't say way better. Sauce Gardner is better than
No,
Patrick Surtain.
no. You just said CeeDee Lamb said PS2 is the best corner because he
Well,
is.
he said PS2, Sauce Gardner, and Denzel Ward are the best
Okay.
corners. But he said for him on
He
his
put
level,
he said PS2 first. PS2 is first. So Sauce in the top 10 is just crazy.
that's up for debate. You look at the numbers, yards against, he has the lowest out of any corners. So that automatically puts him above anybody in my mind at cornerback. I'll go my number eight. Just pure talent, Lamar Jackson, quarterback. He does a lot with his legs. He's a freak athlete. The only slight he obviously could be a little bit more consistent, throw the ball a little bit better, but he's still the second best quarterback in the league, and any team would die to have him.
So you got two running backs in your top 10. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, who's the other running back?
Oh, if you don't have Christian McCaffrey,
Yeah. No. I
your
know.
list is terrible.
I was like, hold up. I better have him. I got to stop this list right now.
No, he didn't even make my top 10. I mean, he's a very dynamic quarterback. He could change the game with the way he runs. His passing ability is just obviously not top 10 in my eyes, but he makes up for it with his ability to run.
Mhm.
I just don't. I mean, it was a weak MVP, one of the weakest MVPs in recent history. I don't think he's a top 10 player.
Yeah. Well, do you think he's at least a top three quarterback?
Um, I would say he's third. Yeah.
Third?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't really know who would unless you're putting Josh Allen or Joe
Yeah.
Burrow over
I
him.
would prefer Josh Allen because he
That's
he
that's
can
crazy. That's
he can
crazy.
he can run. You have Sauce in your top 10. I don't want to hear another word out of you the rest of this time.
Josh
He
Allen.
can run the ball very effectively as well, but his throwing is way better than Lamar's.
Okay, yeah, he also throws a shit ton more picks. Why is
Okay,
that so
because
left over?
because they're throwing like 80 times a game while Lamar throws maybe 20 times a game. So obviously he's gonna have more interceptions.
His touchdown the interception ratio is ridiculous.
Trust
There's no
me.
way
Trust me.
Josh Allen
I
should not
shush,
be.
shush, shush. I bet on Lamar Jackson's total throw attempts like four different times and lost every single time because I went over. He throws the ball like 20 times a game. What kind of quarterback in your top 10 is only throwing like 20 passes a game?
The way he's just changes the game. Like because a quarterback like him is so mobile and can run, you don't see how it changes the field, right? Like linebackers have to like edge up a little bit more. They can't stay on their man because you don't understand how much that changed
No,
the defense's point of view.
no.
That automatic you can't just say no.
Yeah, yeah. I'm saying no.
Okay. You got me, dude.
Anyway, my number eight, uh, uh, one of the most underrated players in the league, one of the most impactful players in the league, Mad Max Crosby at 8. Okay.
You have him over TJ Watt?
Yes.
That's
And
crazy.
yeah.
Why?
Oh, I just look at sack numbers. That's all I do. Yeah. How does Max Crosby affect the run? Which is a part of the game too. He's a defensive lineman. He needs to affect the run. He's the best in the league at it at defensive
What
end.
about what about TJ
TJ
Watt?
Watt
TJ Watt doesn't do that. Is
against
that
the
what you're
run,
saying?
no. He's one of the least effective actually. You don't know the stats. So it's weird debating this if you don't understand what you're talking about. TJ Watt is actually not that effective at all against the run statistically. When Max Crosby is number one against the run, which puts him higher in my eyes because running is a part of the game too. He does
All
not
right.
take a play off, and he played 99% of the snaps last year on defense. He does not leave the game.
I mean, I guess he just has to carry that dog shit Raiders defensive line, right?
Top 10 defense last year, but okay, go off.
Um, at 7, I also have a defensive end. Not Max Crosby. Miles Garrett. Defense player of the year. He's not my highest defensive end though. But defense player of the year, sack numbers, obviously. I mean, with defensive ends, it's pretty much all the same. It's you can look at the numbers, you can look at the PFF grades. Um, and yeah, I mean, defense player of the year.
Okay.
You got 7.
I have Justin Jefferson at 7. Clear cut,
Oh, okay. Wide receiver, yeah.
clear cut, game changing, generational talent. I mean, he's just based off his ability alone. I don't even. There's not much I can say about Justin Jefferson
Yeah.
because he's obviously a top 3 wide receiver right now, and that's
Generational talent. I mean, I'm not gonna give up any future of my picks, but I also have him on my list. He's see, this is the problem with lists and with people's stupid brains. They forget these people go away because their quarterbacks get injured. That's the biggest problem with wide receivers. Is like they don't get the touches, they don't get the numbers. So people are like, oh, okay, they're gone, right? He's he's still an amazing wide receiver. His first couple years, he's already shown that he is one of the greatest wide receivers in the past 10 years. So yeah, what number was that? Was that 6 or 7 for you?
7, 7.
Yeah, so what's your 6?
I have to show some offensive line some love. It's obviously Trent Williams at
Yeah.
6, clear cut, best lineman in the league. I mean, he shuts down anybody in front of him. He,
Yeah, Trent Williams up here, and then the second look, Larry Tunsil will be the second best, is all the way down here. Yeah, he towers over any other defense or offensive lineman on the field. He's Hall of Famer right now. Like clear cut, nobody's gonna argue that.
yeah,
My 6 was once again I have Miles Garrett at 7. I have TJ Watt at 6. I think he was the best defense in the league last year.
not
Like I
against
said,
one.
numbers
We,
speak for themselves, especially with these defensive ends.
yeah, we take the running plays off, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we do. We do.
You need a breather.
Sure. I mean, that's just your Raiders, you're gonna stick with Max Crosby.
Do you want your defensive end to play every play or just only on the passing plays?
I think for the runs matter a lot for the defensive ends, but I also feel like run stops are more important for defensive tackles, right? Your defensive ends get more of the sacks. Your defensive tackles gets more of the middle sack for loss or tackles for losses type deal.
Wow, hot take. Defensive tackle is should be stopping the run.
Well, yeah, there you go. I mean, and defensive ends should be stopping or getting sacks. That's
So
it.
they shouldn't participate in the run game. Is that what you're
They
saying?
should, but I think the passing numbers mean more for defensive ends, obviously.
Okay, terrible, terrible take, but it's okay.
All right. For my number 5, this is my second running back on the list is CMC. Greatest running
At
back in the league.
5?
Huh?
At 5?
Yeah,
What?
5. I told you it gets a little crazy up there.
Yeah,
Um,
five's insane.
no, greatest running back, covering Madden. I mean, I know that doesn't mean shit, but makes Brock Purdy look amazing. So there's something. Who you got at 5?
The best defensive tackle in the league, Chris Jones.
Oh, yeah. See, he didn't even make my list.
Yeah, because you probably forgot about him. So that's why your list is bad.
Definitely didn't forget about him.
Chris
Um,
Jones is just a beast. Speaking of defensive tackles, he does everything you want, pass rushing and stopping the run at an elite level.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like a casual, but he doesn't really jump out for me.
You might want to edit that out. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, he kind of, in my eyes, disappears someplace. Like I
What?
said, the Chiefs are always on fucking TV, so I
When you
try to
go
keep
get
an
a
eye for
beer?
him. He kind of disappears every now and then.
He disappears when you go get a beer and then come back and
Yeah.
he's back on TV. Yeah, that could happen.
Who you got at number four?
This might be a little crazy looking at it, but I'm sticking with it. It's Miles Garrett at 4. Just based off his physicalness and like he's just a his elite strength
Yeah.
and his elite ability to get to the quarterback.
If
I think
your
he's the
highest
best
rated
defensive
defensive
end.
player?
Yeah, I think he's the best defensive
Okay.
end in
Yeah.
the whole league.
No, that's not crazy. I mean, like I said, I just feel like TJ Watt got a little snubbed last year, but yeah, he's still an absolute monster.
Because Miles Garrett gets double teamed all the time and he
Yeah,
still
triple
puts up
teamed.
his numbers.
He gets that Aaron Donald attention.
Yeah, because he's just he needs that. He requires that. So I think
Yep.
four might be a little too high, but I'm sticking with it.
Um, what I got at number four is fastest man alive, Tyreek Hill. He does a great job making Tua look good. The slant god. I just saw a training camp video of him hitting like a 5 cone drill. It blew my mind. The dude is still amazingly fast. Anywhere he goes, obviously with the Chiefs, he had his amazing times there, and even just fits right in with the Dolphins scheme. Yeah, I
Who's
mean,
your top three? What's happening?
you'll find out. You'll find out. All right. My third, best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes. Enough said. He
At
does,
three?
yeah, he does everything with nothing pretty much. He had Valdez Scantley Jr. looking like a god.
Why is he not one?
You'll figure out. You'll figure it out, dude.
Whatever justification you made, it's not right and it's terrible. Mahomes is obviously the best player in the league. He's a spoiler. He's my number one. It's not
All
even
right, well, clearly. Hey, he
yeah
wasn't the NFL top 100's number one.
yeah. They have to justify the Tyreek Hill glazing, but that's okay.
I mean, I get it, but
My number three is Christian McCaffrey. The reason he's three is just because of his injuries. The past like 3 or 4 years, he's had major injury problems. He was healthy last year, which is fantastic, but hopefully he can continue that. But just because of his injuriness and availability, I have him at three. But other than that, like when he's on the field, he might be the best player on the field. He's just so dynamic as a running
anywhere he
back.
goes, yeah, screens, the screen god. I mean, like I said, he makes Brock Purdy look like it. Us talking about all these 49ers players just makes it crazy how Brock Purdy is 28. Like, with all these players, the 49ers should have won the damn Super Bowl, right?
I remember I bet it was Iowa versus Stanford in the Rose Bowl, and I bet Iowa because
Mm,
Stanford sucks at football all the time in my head.
yep.
And then this little white boy is in the slot at the running back. I was like, who
Kick
is this guy?
returning too.
Killing he was killing Iowa. He was all
Yeah.
over the place.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I mean, he's the greatest running back for sure. There's no doubt about that. Who you got it to?
Tyreek Hill, um, just his speed, I mean, you can't teach speed. That's what Al Davis
Mm,
used to say.
yeah.
Because look what he makes Tua look like. I mean,
Mhm.
he's just ridiculous. Like
Well,
I
Tua's
can't.
a slant pass god. I mean, that was the perfect fit for that Dolphins team.
Yeah, Hill's just I have him as the best wide receiver in the league, and then Jay Jets. But
Mhm.
Hill is just I mean, everyone knows Tyreek Hill. So
Um, my number two, this just goes to show how important this guy is. You already had him on your list, is Trent Williams.
that's too high for an offensive lineman.
Definitely not. He is, there's numerous articles. You know, you could say any position, right? like wide receivers we have now, like Justin Jefferson. It's like, oh, how will he match up with the greats? Trent Williams is the great. They say he is the greatest tackle. We're witnessing if you take position away, we're probably witnessing the greatest player in the history of football in Trent Williams. Like,
That's
there's just no doubt about that. Everybody is constantly saying how we're witnessing a legend before our eyes. So give him some credit. He's the second best player in the league right now.
okay. So if I were to tell you here for your team, you could either have Mahomes or you could have Trent Williams. Who are you picking? Say it.
No,
It's
that's
on your
that's
list.
crazy. That's
It's on
crazy.
your list.
No. Listen, I get what you're trying to do.
No, I'm not trying to
No,
do
no,
anything.
because that's going. But I get what you.
Yeah, give me Trent. Holy, we gotta delete this whole episode, bro.
No. Just shut up. I get what you're trying to do because how this is a quarterback driven league. You
Oh, really?
tell
It's not.
me, you can tell me Justin Herbert or Trent Williams, and I'm taking Justin Herbert.
So a
Like you,
quarterback is more important.
no, yeah, the quarterback's more important, but these are the greatest players at their positions. That's what this list is.
If
Like how much
Mahomes,
they rise above the next dude on the list. That's what I'm doing. I don't know
if
what you're doing.
Mahomes keeps his trajectory up, he will be better than Tom Brady all time.
Yeah, but look at that. You say like he will be better. He might be better, right? Trent Williams, he is better than anybody ever already.
It's offensive line. Nobody cares about that.
See, there you go. You just showed your ignorance right there, buddy.
No, what? You need a dominant quarterback. Look at the Raiders. We have AOC or Gardner Minshew. How do you think we're gonna do? If we have
Dude,
Mahomes, we're Super Bowl contenders.
you can tell me this.
But if you give us Trent Williams, we're still the same.
I'm not
There.
clipping this. I'm not gonna clip what I'm about to say. But you can line up Trent Williams and Trevor Lawrence, and I'm taking Trevor Lawrence just because you need a quarterback in this day and age.
Yeah, so that just means your list sucks. You don't have to clip it.
No,
I
it
wouldn't clip that
doesn't. It
either.
means
I
this
wouldn't
is
want
still
that.
at their position the greatest. He's fifth on your list. You're acting like it was a terrible pick.
It is because the people you have him over.
Okay,
100%.
okay. Where's Trent Williams on your list?
He's sixth.
Okay. Would you rather have Trent Williams or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar?
Exactly. And Lamar's not on your list. So what are you
What?
saying?
Yes, because quarterback matters more, and you have
Oh
Mahomes
my God,
behind
dude.
him.
You just said the same thing. That's what
You
I was
have
trying to
Mahomes
argue
behind.
with you.
What? Dude, you're being an idiot right now.
No,
You
you're
already
being
are.
sure, dude. You're you're trying to use my argument on me, but when I try to use it on you, you're not going to accept that.
What
That's
are you talking about?
the quarterback is more important.
Yes,
But
so
you have
Mahomes should
Trent
be
Williams
higher.
over Lamar Jackson.
Mahomes should be higher.
Mahomes is third. You're acting like he's
He should be one. Who's your number one?
well. Let me get to that.
No, who's your number one? Say it now.
I
Not get.
am. Let me build it
No, we're
up.
not getting to it. Who's your number one? Just say it.
My number one player just rises above everybody in
Just
his
say it.
division. Justin Jefferson is the number one player in the NFL.
Okay. How you
Yeah,
gonna
that's not bad, right? Whoa, oh my God, dude. What the fuck? Yeah, yeah, so he left. Kind of a dumbass, just because I don't even have any words. So, yeah, my list, 10, CeeDee Lamb, 9, Sauce Gardner, 8, Lamar Jackson, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, 3, Patrick Mahomes, 2, Trent Williams, 1, Justin Jefferson. That's the correct list. Yeah, we'll see y'all next pod, I guess.